Okay, so welcome to the Ecom Beast Facebook Ads Academy. First and foremost, I want to talk about why Facebook ads and why we use Facebook ads to grow and scale our business and campaigns. So understanding the big blue. Marketing is all about attention. Be where the attention is. So why choose Facebook ads? The biggest risk is not taking any risk in a world that is really changing quickly. The only strategy is guaranteed to fail is not by taking any risks, and that is from the man himself, Mark Zuckerberg. Now, Facebook, aka the Big Blue, currently has 1 billion daily active users. Okay, now the average person spends around 1.72 hours per day on social media, and around 40 minutes of that is on Facebook. Now, it's all about attention, and where there is attention, that's where you can market your products. You can't sell any products without having attention, and you need to be advertising where attention is, like Gary Vee says. And the attention right about now is on social media, and most of it is either on Instagram or on Facebook. Now, Facebook owns both of those platforms, of course, so that is where you need to be, where the attention is, where your potential customers are going to be. Now, Facebook ads are extremely scalable due to the large audiences. Now, you can scale up what is working to compound the growth. We're going to go through some different scaling strategies, but with Facebook, we're able to pump more money into our campaign so we can show the advert to more and more people. Now, you can target almost any interest and niche. The targeting system is unlike any other social media platform, generally down to the amount of information that Facebook collects from you. Now, when you sign up, of course, it is just literally, where you're from, your date of birth, what country you live in, basic stuff like that. But as you grow through the platform and start to like certain photos, and start to follow certain pages, interact with certain videos, and in your friends' interests and those sorts of things as well, Facebook becomes extremely clever and sophisticated on the information that it collects on you. Again, if you are personally as well clicking on any sort of adverts, or you doing any sort of shopping online, most of these websites all have the Facebook pixel installed. So when you are pretty much most of the time logged into your Facebook account, you are being tracked, and Facebook is very clever at knowing and suggesting products that you may be interested in. Now, the Facebook pixel allows for powerful remarketing as well, allowing you to collect rich data, like I've just mentioned, on the customers who take the action on your website. And we're going to talk about the pixel in a lot more detail, how to set it up and all those sorts of things in this section of the course. Now, why listen to me? Okay, why listen to what I have to say? Well, if you've been following me for a while, you know that I've been doing Facebook ads for a few years now, and I've spent a hell of a lot of money on Facebook. I spent close to over $3 million on adverts. So of course, I know, some of the best practices on what works, but most importantly, what doesn't work. Because when you spend a lot of money on Facebook ads, you start to understand what sort of things work. Okay, yes, it is all about testing. Yes, you will have to test different things, and the market will react in a positive way or in a negative way. But once you understand what things and what metrics you need to look for, how to scale, different methods to scale, how retargeting works, and all those sorts of things, that can only come through spending money. And I'm an advocate of, you have to spend money to make money. Now, understanding the terminology, okay, it may seem daunting at first, but honestly, it is not. And I want to break down some of these terminologies that I'm going to use throughout this section, just so that you can refer back to it if you haven't got any idea, because it just makes things a lot easier to understand and type out this way by using acronyms. So let me just break down some of these acronyms. I don't think I've missed any out, but these are all of the ones that you should know. So VC stands for view content, and that's when someone literally lands on your page. So if someone clicks on an advert and lands on a page, they'll be triggered for view content. Then there's add to cart, ATC. Of course, that's just self-explanatory, someone adding a product to their cart. Initiate checkout, IC. So what that is when someone adds the product to the cart and then starts initiating the checkout. So for example, putting in their contact details, email address, and those sorts of things. Purchase, which is obviously of course a purchase. CPP or CPA, so that is cost per purchase or cost per acquisition, and that is the cost that it is for you to make the purchase. Okay, that's what that cost is. CPM, that is the cost per 1,000 impressions. So when you're showing your advert to people, you're going to get a price, and that price is going to show is basically how much it's costing you on average to reach 1,000, for your advert to reach 1,000 people. CPC, that is cost per click, how much it is, how much you're paying per click essentially for someone to land on your website. Click-through rate, CTR is click-through rate. So we're going to generally be using the link click-through rate, and basically what that is your impressions times divided by your clicks, and that will give you a percentage rate. So it could be 1%, it could be 2%, whatever it may be, but that is basically how well your advert is doing. So a higher click-through rate means that it's more engaging, people are more likely to click through and land on your product page. ROAS, most important metric pretty much, that is your return on ad spend. So it's your sales divided by your ad spend, and that is the ROAS is a really important metric, and you'll hear me talk about it throughout this course, or you may have heard of it before, but ROAS is what you want to be looking for. Okay, it will give you a number such as 1.0, 3.0, 3.2, 3.3, but you'll understand it. LLA equals lookalike audiences. This is a type of audience that you can create from your custom audiences. And CA, custom audiences. This is from the pixel, so you can basically you can create custom audiences from actions from your pixel. So for example, we could create a custom audience for everyone who has added a specific product to our cart. DPA, which is dynamic product ads, and we're going to talk about that. It's a form of retargeting. MB, manual bidding, again, it's a certain form of bidding on the platform. So you have auto bidding and manual bidding. I'm going to cover manual bidding strategies as well in this section of the course. Ad creative, that's basically the advert creative, so the front end advert that people see. So when they're scrolling down Facebook, they'll see an advert, and that advert is what I like to call the advert creative. And there's audiences. Audiences are basically like interest, lookalike audiences, custom audiences and stuff like that. So audience is literally just, a type of audience that you will be targeting. Now let me just really quickly talk about the Facebook auction. The Facebook auction is this formula here. It's kind of like the algorithm that they use essentially, and for you to win auctions, it's based off these three things. So first and foremost, the bid. How much are you paying for your advert to be shown? Okay, the person who is, got the highest bid or bidding the most, that is one factor that they may be shown over you. Then it's plus your estimated action rate. This is something that Facebook has developed, of course, and it's how likely is someone going to be to take the action that you are optimizing for on your advert. So say, for example, you are optimizing for purchase, how likely is the person who are they going to show the advert to, how likely are they to actually purchase the product? Then plus the advert relevancy, so how relevant is your advert to that person? Now, all of that encompasses a total value that only Facebook knows what the value is, and that person is the winner, which means their advert gets shown to the customer. So if millions of these little auctions are going on throughout the day, that's how your advert basically gets shown to loads of different people across the platform. So your goal is to basically try and win these mini auctions that happen in a millisecond over and over and over and over again upon the platform. But that is basically the formula that Facebook uses. Here is a value bomb. As we're going through the Facebook section, of course, the person who tests the most wins, and that is going to be the basis of this. But we're going to go through the Facebook section, and it's so extensive. I'm so excited to bring this part to you guys. So coming up next is going to talk about actually setting up your business manager and ad account as the first steps you need to do to get up and running with advertising on Facebook. So I'm going to show you live just how to get a business manager, and then we'll look around it and all those sorts of things. So I hope you got some value from this video, and I'll see you in the next one.